Dana Barros rocking the Dana Barros shirt, man. That's what I do. I wear shirts that say combo. That's how I do it too. You know what I mean?
Hey, promoting your own shit, man. Self-deprecation, man. Self-survival, baby.
Speaking of promotion, have you been hearing about this Kawhi Leonard stuff? I mean, allegedly, he was supposed to promote a company called Aspire, and he allegedly got paid 28 M's for a no-show job.
And they say there was another 20 in stocks. Yeah, that report came out last night. There was another 20 in stocks that he was supposed to get if the company was successful. So if you kind of match it up, Balmer put in 50 million, the 28 million and the 20 come out to 48. He break off the company, got a quick 2 mil, for helping him out. Bang, bang, boom. I don't know, man. You tell me. You
This
tell me.
this has to be happening a lot all across the NBA, right?
Yeah,
And also, it's not. There's no document absolutely proving it yet, so it is allegedly. But I mean, this has to be happening all the time.
and I'm sure like there's other owners like, oh shit, like do we really want to say something negative? Because if Pablo start going, through everybody's back door, it's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I'm sure it goes on, man. You got guys, having the option of going 200, 300 million, 4 year, 5 year. It hurt Luca in a certain, in a way by losing the option, of the 5th year. But he'll make it up in the end, hopefully. But it can go the other way as well, man. Like I'm sure it goes on, man. You got all these private jets, man. You got all this money. You got all these islands out here, man. You don't know what the hell's going on behind the scenes, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, let's say you had billions, Dana. Maybe you do have billions. I don't know. But you're a fan of the Celtics. You played for the Celtics. Can anybody just sign a deal with Dana Barros Basketball Club, come in for one day, and you could pay him 30 M's? That's not illegal, right?
If they show up, though. See, the problem is they have no actual, not even one iota of information that shows him doing any, not one even. Yo, let me put the shovel in the ground for this tree organization. Not one thing, bro. They didn't use his likeness in anything.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why people think Ballmer's not involved in this because they wouldn't think he's that dumb, you know? And then also the other thing that Mark Cuban was saying is that if he knew this company was going bankrupt, he would get them out of bankruptcy real quick because once they go bankrupt, everything shows, right? It's all public documents.
At the same time, he's like the sixth or seventh richest man in the world. Whoever his people are, they should for him to put 50 million. I don't care how much money you have. You put $50 million into a company, you need to know the ins and outs. Otherwise, you're gonna lose your job. Like
Yeah.
who advised him to do that 50 million? He can't be still working there, right? I mean, that's 50 million, bro. So to me, like you got to do your homework, like in terms of who's getting this, who's on the board, who's doing that. So to me, you can say it's that dumb, but damn, I mean it's real suspect, b. Like it's real suspect. Now you say the smoking gun. I don't have the smoking gun. I don't know if the NBA is gonna have the smoking gun, but to me, this puts the shining light on everybody. Got to close their back door now because investigations are going to start coming up from a lot of people on these teams of, hey, what about, remember this deal and remember that deal? Jalen Brunson is next. That's what Pablo said.
Hey, I'm not saying anything. That was like the first name that came to my mind because he took a crazy deal. Like he's not the highest paid player on that team, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything. But I mean, that's the person who came to mind.
And you in New York, like how you know it's not a $20 million penthouse somewhere that he's just chilling there. You know what I mean, like you never know. Like it's just so many back doors and Bitcoin and this and that, and you don't know. Like it, you know what I'm saying? Like back door in New York, especially. I wouldn't put it past him to take less, but not. He took less the first time. Why take less the second time? They got over on his first contract from when he came from Dallas, right? I think it was only like a 4 year 80, and he ends up
Right.
being
But the crazy thing about back then was that some Knicks fans thought that was too much.
right, right. So I mean, I don't know, man. Like I let the investigations begin
Yeah.
because if this is going on and I'm a billionaire and I'm doing it right. And these dudes over here even got more money than me, and they still cheating. Nah, we ain't having that, B.
Do you think this blows over?
No, I think this going to be. I think this is going to open up the investigation, like Pablo said. Now we're going to open up a whole big can of worms, man. I just think so. I think him even mentioning Jalen Brunson is going to allow 30 other people now to go look at
Who
his name. You know what I mean?
who mentioned somebody mentioned Jalen Brunson?
Pablo Torre said Jalen Brunson is next. I was all over the internet yesterday. He goes at the end of his show. He goes, and thank you for showing it. And Jalen Brunson's is next. That's go look it up. It's
Bro,
all
when
over.
I was just telling you that Jalen Brunson was the first person that came to my mind, I did not even know that when you just told me that. That's crazy.
Said it. He said it at the end of his show.
That's crazy, bro. Wow. This is going to be a crazy season, man.
Yeah, I mean
Because
you got.
Knicks had a great chance. I hope nothing happens to Knicks because they had a great chance to win it this year. I mean, the East is wide open, you know?
I mean, to be honest, I would have to give them right now on paper, even over my guys, even over my C's. Like just on paper, they have the best team to me. They're healthy. They added they added Clarkson, for more.
Yeah, he's tough. He's a bucket.
Yeah, and I thought losing DiVincenzo was way bigger than what they wanted to say. I thought he was not only an energy, but he opened the floor up. So adding him is big for the Knicks. So without injuries and with the Pacers being injured, the Milwaukee being injured, and Dame leaving, yeah, I give you that.
Dana, you know what? I was thinking about today. You actually played in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, but taking it back to the 80s, Bird and Magic were the guys, right?
Right.
So my question to you is who was better, but not only that, your teammates, people around the league, who did they think was the better player during that time?
Man, that was coast to coast. So whatever coast you was on, you was. I mean, New York was repping some Lakers stuff, but Boston was, the East Coast was Boston. But
But I'm talking about what Magic. I'm talking about what Magic and Bird specifically. Like, who was the tougher player?
that's what I'm talking about. The Lakers won 5 tips, the Celtics won 3. So I mean, you got to give it to the Lakers, and I give it to Magic in terms of I think Magic. People talk about even LeBron. Magic birthed all these guards: Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, T Mac, Magic Johnson, 6'9" point guard, birthed all these 1 through 5 positional players. Right? He birthed.
LeBron James.
Right, all of them, right? So he birthed all of them. So to me, I thought he transcended basketball the way it was supposed to be played, and he started that. And I think Bird was such a great race thing where the white guy was just as good as the black guy. It was so crazy to be in Boston, bro, right? To be in South Boston and the Irish and all, it was just so crazy because it was legit. You know what I'm saying? Like you could make either point, as great as Larry Bird was, he had to handle all that race shit and he did it impeccably. He didn't talk no shit. He didn't talk to the media. He went on that court and pump faked and tricked motherfuckers and did his shit.
Did you ever hear that interview when he was like, "Yeah, when I got to the league, I realized the league wasn't that good." No, that was hilarious when he said that.
I was on the bench. I was on the bench when we played the Celtics off. Me and Shawn Kemp, rookies, right? So something happened. I think X was hurt, and Shawn got to start. And Shawn's from Elkhart, Indiana, right? So KC Jones was our coach. That's our second year. KC Jones was our coach, and he used to coach Larry Bird, of course. So Larry Bird comes out in the starting lineup, taps his feet at half court, walks straight up to KC Jones and goes, "Are you seriously going to put this motherfucking rookie on me?" And walked
Wow.
away, right? And Casey Jones like laughs it off. Yo, we get out onto the hand, like Shawn goes to shake his hand, he just walks past him, and he's like, "I'm gonna light your ass up." First 3 plays, Shawn gets 3 fouls in the first 3 minutes. Pump fake, jumps into him, goes around him, and he just kept looking over at Casey Jones and goes, "You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Are you putting this young motherfucker on me?" Like Larry was the illest trash talker ever. I promise you.
Yeah. Who was better, Bird or LeBron?
I think LeBron is better. I think he does more. I think he because of his size and his speed, you could say he does more things a little bit better. Larry Bird was an all around player, bro. His stats are like 25, 7, and 7 or some shit like that too. You know what I mean? I just think that LeBron's athleticism gives him the advantage, at that size. So even though people think I hate LeBron. I salute when it's salute. But I wouldn't knock someone for saying Larry Bird is better either. To me, I think Magic is top five too. I think he gets a lot of, he doesn't get a lot of talk about being in that group.
You mentioned young Shawn Kemp. Did you realize he had superstar potential right away?
Hell yeah. Listen, bro, we was in training camp. Like he was wild. Like he would get the ball and go behind his back and lose it sometime. But listen, there was like a couple in the training camp. I was like, I wanted to show off. So we doing our 3-man weave, we open it up. So I hit the wing, in 3-man weave. It comes to me, I'm supposed to bounce pass it to the 4-man. So I don't bounce pass it. I just take a big bounce and go up and go, back dunk it, right? Just to show everybody, right?
Mm.
We come back down. Sean's in the middle. Sean tosses that shit off to the wing, comes down, 360s it, like almost like more than 360 it, and everybody was like, oh, but as soon as we started playing, bro, it was just like he was different. He was, and the next year they traded an all-star and Xavier McDaniel, so that lets you know how much they thought about him.
Did you see anybody at that size move like that up until that point?
Nah, he was so different. You
Yeah.
put you put a big guy on him, he could take him out on a perimeter, cross him over between the legs, spin move. And then they end up putting little guys on him, and then they were too little. I mean, he,
Mismatch problem.
yeah, he's the Zion before Zion. Watch his dunk tapes, man. That shit is, he's the best end game dunker I've ever seen other than Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Like his dunks are fucking crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he would like pump it and go backwards, reverse, right on somebody's head.
Yeah,
Like his
and
head was like at the rim.
a lot of those were coast to coast dunks, or
Yeah.
and making a move and then it wasn't like he just drop step like Shaq and just he was incredible, man. And talked to him a couple of weeks ago
Okay.
doing this thing. He beat his case, his gun
Oh,
case.
nice.
Man.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was crazy, but he's good, man. That's my guy.
What was it like matching up with young Gary Payton in practice?
Dope. I just saw GP at the Big Three, man. We hugged it up. I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
20,000 likes on Instagram just for people, of Seattle looking back on that. And he got the wrong impression, man. Look, Gary came in the league before the lockout. So Gary came in the league making like $2 million a year, which was like top 3% of the league, bro. Second pick in the league, top three. He was like a 6-year, $12 million. Dale Ellis was our best player. He was making $2 million. And 1-9. So Gary comes in getting paid the most of every player on the team, and one of the best, highest paid players rather in the league. So Gary was quiet, and people think he has a big mouth. Gary was quiet, and then you start talking shit to him, and he would never never stop, right? But
So if you didn't start with him, he wouldn't talk.
in the beginning,
Okay,
like
the beginning.
right, because he had to be humble because he only averaged like 7 a game because he came into a situation where we had two 20-point a game scorers. I was there the year before him, averaging 26 in college, coming in getting one shot a game. You know what I mean? So he came in where he was a fourth option. So he was looked down upon like he was having a bad year, and that was tough for him mentally because he wasn't asked to do that. I was literally told by Casey Jones, "I don't want you shooting the ball." I told this man, like, "What the fuck you want me to do?" Like I said, "You got to trade me then. I can't stay here. Like this is crazy." So that's the kind of limits we had on Gary and me.
Yeah, that's why this era would have been great for you because it's so different now. I mean,
Crazy.
almost not everybody has the green light, but if that's your strength, that's what you're gonna do. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I tell you, like I would come in like at the end of games, like when Gary was there, I would play like 7, 8 minutes a game. So I'll come in at the end of a TNT game, and I pull up from like 3 feet behind the line, and I miss, and the announcer be like, "Well, that's why he's not playing much because he's taking shots like that." And I'm like, "That's
I
my
see that's called creating narratives.
that's my shot." But it was so different in the game back then that it looked like a terrible shot. I'm shooting 42%. Like, why don't you say that when I shoot that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who was the toughest guy to guard in your era? I know we talked about Michael Jordan, but I'm talking about at your position.
I mean, like scoring like that, I would say the guard is like obviously AI, but I would even say Marbury. Like from scoring, like Marbury,
What
AI.
made Marbury so tough? The first step, right? That first step.
explosive, strong, drop the shoulder, hit you with that shoulder, could dunk. I mean, he was tough, man. I mean, if you look up his stats, he had like a 3 or 4 year period where he was 25-9. You know what I mean? But literally, like if you want to say just guard someone, it was Muggsy. He didn't try to score a lot, which was great. I thank God he didn't try to score a lot. But Muggsy was so fast. That's the only person I ever played against that was faster than me, and that was a mind fuck, man. Like it was totally a mind fuck for me.
It's so crazy that somebody at his size could thrive in the NBA.
11 years. He led the league in assists like 5 years, and steals like 3 years, 4 years.
I mean, part of it was just that he was relentless, right, on both sides.
Relentless. Also, he had Larry Johnson and Morton behind him. So
Ah,
as soon as you went into that post up, they had an automatic scheme. As soon as the ball went into the air, that guy was coming on a double team, right? So they had that scheme down. And if you was like a 6'2" guard, you wasn't posting them up. Just like me. I would get under you and you were not backing me. Like, dude, I would get in the game and dudes would be like, post his little ass up on the bench, right? It'd be like a 6'1" guard, man. Like 180 trying to post me up. I would take this dude and push him right into the bench and take the personal foul.
oh yeah, oh
Like,
yeah.
he's not posting me up. I would take a personal foul. I would literally take him out the post and
Smart.
push it into the other team's bench just to say that shit ain't happening.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can survive.
You know, KD and LeBron and Steve Nash were talking about this on their pod, but they were talking about how it's almost, this is not verbatim what they said, almost impossible for smaller guards to last in the modern NBA. Do you think it was tougher for a smaller guard to play now or back in your era?
Way back in my era because it was a slower game. I mean, remember the '90s was the games were 88 to 85, man. So they
So
were
why
playing
so why do you think there's less now?
because they would post up. If I was in the game playing against Indiana, Mark Jackson's going 4 straight times to the post, bro. 4 straight times, and if you don't
He
stop
was
it, the ass is coming out the game.
he was so tough. He's underrated, Mark Jackson.
Second or third all time in assists too. Should be.
Yeah.
So Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, these are 6'5" guards, man, that I was playing against. So it was like, yo, take his ass in the post, and that's our offense. When that's literally how they did it. So there was no way around it at that point. And we had to have schemes. They had schemes in Seattle. I had to get stronger and bigger because the first year I was getting killed down there. I was coming in for 2 minutes, they were taking my ass right out because they take his ass in the post. And now it's just like a 6'7" dude could have a 5'8" dude on him, but he's standing in the corner, spreading the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Sometimes they take advantage of it, but sometimes they don't.
Yeah, you mentioned Alonzo and Larry in the front court. Interestingly, back then you didn't have everybody on the court who could shoot a three. Like that's the biggest difference. And you could have guys that just clog the lane and don't really space on the other side.
Steph Curry's dad, Del Curry, was the only shooter on that team.
That's crazy.
There was no one
Yeah,
else.
and they were considered like specialists back then, right?
Yes, me, Reggie Miller. Like when I came in the game, I might play 7 minutes. They was fucking face guarding me like this on the weak side. I'm like, bro, I'm not even the plays over there. Let me get
I
one.
hate when they do that to me in the gym. I hate that.
Crazy. It's crazy. The specialist comes in, they had the book on you, bro. Back then, they had the book on you. There was like, I remember Walter McCarty coming to Boston telling me that Jeff Van Gundy told him, if Dana Barros gets a 3-point attempt, you're getting fined $500 when I'm playing for Philly or the Celtics or whatever. I remember Walter McCarty coming to Boston saying, "Yo, man, Van Gundy used to go crazy."
It that's really annoying because they'll try and totally take you out the game without even thinking about winning or losing. Like they won't even adjust. Like this is not even helping you doing this, but you're just messing with me. You know what I mean?
Definitely, that's how much I shot, man. I had an 89 game in a row streak in the 90s, 96, 95, 94, right? Or 96. And ML is the coach. And Don Nelson, somebody tells him with like 7 minutes to go, Dana Barros has a streak. He didn't get his three yet. So ML puts me back in the game to get the three. So now Don Nelson knows. He puts 5 guys at the 3-point line. They're up 20 points. He says, I don't. They got 3 illegal defenses in a row because they just spread out at the 3-point line and they stopped me. I took like 7 threes in the last 2 minutes. Though I was jacking that shit up all out of bounds. I was like 0 for 13 that game, man, trying to get that streak, and they purposely. It went from a 25-point lead to like a 9-point lead because they were just literally trying to stop my streak.
Let's finish up here. Which younger players do you think in the NBA currently are going to break out this season? Like, who do you like around the NBA?
I think an old star is gonna break out. John Morant. I think he's gonna break out this season. I really do. He was right on the cusp of becoming the next guy until he went through all that. But I really think he's gonna have a great year. And I mean, I'm not like really impressed like at someone like really, really busting out. I mean, all the young guys.
Maybe the kid, he's not that young anymore, but the kid who's joining the Celtics with the Trailblazers, Simons.
He's been a 20 point a game scorer,
But
right?
yeah, I feel like with the Celtics, it could come more in the media's light, if you will, right? Because he's in a bigger market.
I think it's a huge pickup. I mean, they're talking about trading him maybe to get under the cap. To me, that 18 to 20 points is huge for us to be able to stay competitive. You know what I mean? If we end up moving him, we got to get those points back. To me, he can score by himself. He doesn't need the ball. He doesn't need the plays. He's a scorer, and he's proven that. And that's what we're going to need this next year.
What's your expectations for this team? Because it's going to be real different this year.
Like you said, the East is so crazy. Like I could see second through fifth. Because it's so.
Wow, for the Celtics, yeah, with no Tatum.
I think Orlando is an enigma. Yeah, they could be better. Cleveland obviously is good. Cleveland and the Knicks. Other than that, I'm not really like, ooh, I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like we can really fight for that third spot. Look at Indiana. I mean, nobody thought Indiana they were what, fifth seed.
Right.
So we need to stay healthy, and I think and I feel Pritchard's gonna have a big year, but we just need to stay healthy and come in that top tier. Don't play on the road in the first round, and I think we'll be good.
Dana, thanks for taking the time. You're basically like a monthly co-host now, so I always really appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. Both of us get our stuff in the comment section, but we're here, man. We're a great team. Sometimes they'll be coming at you, sometimes they'll be coming at me, but we always hold our ground. We always hold our ground.
Yeah, this is not no we ain't on no political shit. This is what we really do this shit for real, right?
For real. Thanks, Dana. Really appreciate you, man. Until next month, we'll talk soon. All right, bro?
Salute, bro.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.